Girl Shense representing for NDP party. Hey, Dr. Friday, you know, say you were like,
hey, Russian.
You are the best. Usually I'm indecisive, but NDP, you are.
Hey, St. Vincent, it's your girl Shenyang. I am here. Make sure some sooner tonight at the rally. Big up Dr. Friday and the whole of NDP. Shenyang.
We like jobs for the youths, yes, we are more.
So one more day, 24 more hours for the most anticipated election in the Caribbean in 2025, and this is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I had to put on my Vincy. My Vincy shirt for this one. So we are seeing Ralph Gonsalves himself, aka Vincy World Boss, going up against Dr. Friday. And in the corner of the World Boss himself is the real World Boss, Vybz Kartel. And in the corner of Dr. Friday is Chensia. And this one is going to be interested. What is going to be the result of the election tomorrow? And what would be the reason for the result? Is it going to be because of the superstars that are a part of this campaign? As I said, Vybz Kartel, Beenie Man, Spragga Benz supporting Ralph Gonsalves, Vincy World Boss in this election. And then in the corner of Dr. Friday is the dancehall princess herself, Chensia. So could these Jamaican superstars decide the result of the election in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Let's talk about it. Yes, so as I said, tomorrow will be the general election in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In less than 24 hours of this video, the polls in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be closed and the results will start coming in. And trust me, as I said, this is the most anticipated election in the Caribbean for 2025. I know that we had the election in Jamaica recently. I know that we had the election in Trinidad and Tobago. But the difference with this election, we are seeing Ralph Gonsalves that he is about to enter territory that no one has ever entered before. I don't recall any prime minister in the Caribbean serving 30 consecutive years as prime minister. And that would be the space that Ralph Gonsalves would be in if he managed to pull off the election tomorrow. But when I saw Chensia coming off the flight in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I had to say to myself, is this a general election or is this just one of the biggest concerts in St. Vincent? Because I've been covering this for pretty much the entire year because this campaign's been going on for a long time. And when Vybz Kartel, I think it was last year this time, when Vybz Kartel went to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and endorsed the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that caught a lot of people off guard. And this year we saw Beenie Man, we saw Spragga Benz endorsing the Vincy World Boss himself. So it was very surprising to me now today to see Chensia coming out with her support for Dr. Friday. So I don't know if this is just one of the biggest dancehall stage shows or whatever in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with so many dancehall artists involved in this election, in the 2025 general election. And I don't know what is going to be the result of the election tomorrow. And with the result, I don't know if these artists, if they are going to have any impact of this election, or the people of St. Vincent, they are going to vote for whoever they want to vote for, regardless of these entertainers showing up to support the candidate that they're supporting. Yes, so I did a video a few months ago and I stated that, look, this is one election that I am not going to make any prediction because trust me, I don't have any idea who is going to win this election. No prediction at all because it is hard to say. As I said, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Vincy World Boss himself, is like, you could consider him a political genius, like someone that came out of the school of Michael Manley, someone that studied in Jamaica at the University of the West Indies, and I think he studied political science or something like that in Jamaica. But it's undeniable that the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines know how to win an election. He is very charismatic, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the past, I would say 7 years, have come a far way. We saw 2 new hotels in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in recent time. We saw the opening of the Sandals Hotel. We saw the opening of Holiday Inn. Those 2 hotels opened like back to back within months of each other. And I had the opportunity to go on the Sandals property. And the Sandals property is one of the most beautiful Sandals property anywhere in the Caribbean. When you go to that property, it's almost like you're in Bora Bora. That is how beautiful that property is. And it's undeniable the impact that Sandals is having on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Within the time that Sandals and Holiday Inn came to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we saw the T20 World Cup games hosting St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We also saw that St. Vincent and the Grenadines last year recorded the most arrival in tourism in the history of the island. And it's undeniable the impact that the Argyle International Airport is having on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves, I'm sure he's going to push those achievements, and those are the achievements that he has to show for the time. I don't know if people will be satisfied and saying like, look, you're there for what, 25 years, and yes, the airport is good, the hotel is good, but you have been there long enough. I don't know if that is going to be the case, but it is undeniable that those are success stories from the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On the other hand, what does Dr. Friday have to run on? I am not sure, because when you are in opposition, the NDP, when you're in opposition for such a long time, it is hard because no one under 30 would have anything to hold your government accountable for. They would not know any record, anything that you have accomplished, because you have been out of office for almost 25 years. So it is going to be very interesting. I think the only thing the NDP administration can campaign on, they cannot, as I said, they cannot campaign on a record because they have been in opposition for such a long time. But we know that St. Vincent and the Grenadines have one of the lowest minimum wage in the Caribbean. I think the only place lower than St. Vincent and the Grenadines would be Haiti, and then you have St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then you have Jamaica with the 3 lowest minimum wage in the region. And I know I saw Dr. Friday campaigning on infrastructure, saying that the infrastructure needs upgrading. So I don't know what is going to happen in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but this one is going to be a very, very interesting election. We could see history created tomorrow. Ralph Gonsalves serving as a prime minister for 30 years. That would be history. Or we could see one of the biggest upset in 2025. But as I said, I am not going to make any prediction. But if you're in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and you're watching this, who do you think will come out victorious in the Vinci general election tomorrow? Sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.